Hey guys, what is going on? It is Ando. Thank you for coming out to this video. Today we're going to talk about all the news that dropped into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and there was a lot. But before we get started into the video, I just want to give a huge shout out to you guys. Big thank you for making last video such a huge success. It was crazy the amount of support that we got there. I want to thank all the people that liked and subbed to the channel. Again, that stuff doesn't go unnoticed. I just want to thank you guys. And if you guys like this kind of video and you guys find these things and the things that we're going to talk about here helpful or just fun and entertaining, I would appreciate a like as well. And as well, it tells me that we got about 70% of people that visit this channel, but they haven't subscribed yet. You would definitely help if you subscribe to this channel because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs and be a huge goal of mine to reach. So I would greatly appreciate if you did so. All right, let's get into the actual video. So a lot of stuff happened today, guys. I'm not going to go, it's not going to be a full kit reveal, but I'm actually going to kind of analyze some of the things that I don't think a lot of people are talking about that I found extremely interesting and I think might at least maybe get our thought process in the right area for Lord Vader and once Maul gets into this team. So without any further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get right into this. Okay guys, so definitely would not be a Galaxy of Heroes news video without talking about the biggest thing that happened to us today, which is that Lord Vader got inserted into the game and we got the kit reveal. So this was a weird thing because we normally get a kit reveal kind of like the day before they go into the game, or at least a few days before, but at the very least usually a day before. And so Operation Metaverse got the exclusive on there, so I'm not going to give a full kit reveal. I think they did a fantastic job asking good questions and actually analyzing the kit a little bit. And funny enough, I didn't create a video yesterday because I thought I was going to do the kit reveal for this today, whenever it came out. I was like, okay, that'll be my video for tomorrow or today, I guess. But it didn't happen, so I made another video, but it's about Imperial Troopers. And so I'm kind of a little bit torn because I'm still going to release that video just a little bit later, but a lot of the people that we need for Imperial Troopers are here. So I'm hoping that it's kind of like JMK where, a lot of people you'll see in GAC, they'll set Mace Windu instead of GK because, just the kind of, you can only rip away so many teams, right? So I'm kind of hoping that, although Admiral Piet might be the best in slot, that Moff Gideon or Grand Admiral Thrawn or something like that is still pretty decent. So I'm not gonna do a full kit reveal. I'm just gonna talk about some of the key takeaways that I got from this and some of the kind of the surprising things. So obviously we have to start up here at the top. Okay, so I expected, well, I shouldn't say expected, but I thought we were gonna get an Empire tag. What I did not expect though is that this was going to be an Empire, like Empire was going to be his calling card. I thought he was going to be a Sith and Sith were who he's going to run with. I thought we were going to kind of get a team that maybe, Sidious could get into, that Maul could get into, that Savage could get into, that Count Dooku could get into, right? All those kind of prequel era Sith that didn't really work with each other, but they were kind of all in that same time era. I thought that was what kind of team we were gonna get. So to see that he has an Empire synergy, or like the Empire is his kind of deal, it's pretty crazy to me. So I did not see that coming. And he's got the specialized synergy with Maul, right? We kind of knew that was going to happen. As we move into his kit, again, I'm just going to highlight the key things. So one thing that's really interesting to me is that Lord Vader, he's going to basically take his mastery from his allies, right? And it's going to be stacking, and basically based off when you activate the ult and the threshold, it's going to be how much mastery you're gaining from them. But here's the interesting part. Basically Empire and Darkside unaligned Force users don't lose their mastery, right? But if everyone else, it's almost like the opposite of SLKR, where SLKR is like siphoning from somebody, the opponent, right? And he's taking their mastery from them while he stacks his own. This is almost like he's taking it from his own allies. But again, as long as they're Empire or Darkside unaligned Force user, which they're gonna be, because the way the team works, you're not gonna steal from them. So he's still gonna gain the mastery, but they're not gonna take away. So that was pretty interesting to me. Again, I won't talk too much. I didn't see anything too crazy with some of this stuff. He does look really good, but again, I think a lot of people already probably know about what he's doing, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. Now, one thing I want to highlight, because I think it's really important, right? He's got like a nihilist lead, basically, like that you lose all protection and gain that much in max health, right? So he's just pure like a health bar instead of the typical health and protection. Same thing with like Malik. And notice here that you're going to gain 15% max health as well, but it's doubled for Empire and Dark Side Unaligned Force users. So all your Empire and Dark Side Unaligned Force users are going to be 30%. And that, I want to say that this Dark Side, the Unaligned Force users thing is a mouthful. I'm going to have to just like make an acronym and just say it, so that way I can not make a fool of myself every single time. But what I really want to get into, and I want to talk about Maul, because of what we know about Maul and kind of this kit. So like this is just kind of my thinking right now. Obviously we need to see what it looks like whenever we get the the actual gameplay, but I was very convinced whenever I kind of heard the mechanics behind everything, that we're going to need a speed meta again, right? Your Maul was going to need to be faster than your cat or your opponent's cat, right? And so it was going to create this issue again where like, hey, if you just have a guy that's one speed faster, it's going to be a problem. This is something that I haven't really seen many people talking about, and it's crazy to me. So again, he has, I also want to point out this, he has this built-in redundancy where he's going to do this anyway. So if like you decide to use him in like an EP team or something like that, then he's still going to make it sure that he doesn't have any protection. But here's the part that I really want to talk about. Man, this is crazy. So Dark Side Unaligned Force users gain speed up and stealth for 2 turns. So it's saying like this is happening at the start of the battle, right? Like, so basically at the start of the battle, Lord Vader is going to lose all his protection. He's going to gain that much max health. And then the Dark Side Unaligned Force users, and again, this is a unique, so this isn't limited to him being the lead spot at all. Dark Side Unaligned Force users are going to gain speed up and stealth for 2 turns. Now, we all know that Maul is a Dark Side Unaligned Force user, right? So he falls into this category, right? So in my head, I thought, oh, well, the way that Kenobis are going to be able to beat Lord Vader and Maul is because they're going to reset, JMK is going to reset the turns on Cat. Cat will just be able to annihilate or one-shot kill Maul. But you can't do that if he's on stealth for 2 turns, right? And the other thing is, again, I thought it's going to be a speed thing, right? You are 370 speed and your opponent's Cat is 371. All of a sudden you can't win that fight. That is not true. Like, speed up is 25% speed, and if it's happening right at the beginning of the battle, I did the math, right? The number one, I did the maths, I should say. The number 1 top speed cat in the game right now is 381. So we did the math, and I think technically 306 can beat it, based off of maths again, and the way that like TM overflow works, even though it's not turn meter. You technically, I don't know how it rounds or if it rounds at all, but I know how turn meter works, and that would be a consistency in between those two. I don't know if that is the case, but yeah, like this is like with the speed up, we did the maths, and you could be 306 speed and beat out the fastest cat in the game, right? And so the ultimate thing is, so I guess then the question is okay, so what about that, right? Like, who cares? I don't need to have fast Maul. Well, the whole issue with this was I thought we're going to need to put a speed set on him. This opens Maul up to having an offense set. But then I started thinking a little bit more, and if you go over to Maul's kit right here, right, he takes damage. So this is Anguish. This is the status effect that he gets. He takes damage at the start of the turn equal to 2% of their max health for each stack of anguish and gains that much offense until the end of their turn. So I just want to point that out. Like, that is a huge thing. It's almost like he's got like a Grievous thing going on with him, right? Where it's like the higher his health is, the more offense he actually is going to gain. Or at least that's what it seems like here. And anguish is again what is going to allow you to kind of enter into this seething rage, which is where you're just going to take turn after turn after turn, and it's going to just be, you know, the damage is just going to be stacking. So I started thinking, okay, so maybe it's an, you know, offense set with a health set. And then I started thinking, well, maybe is it just a health set? Like is it just 3 health sets? Are we gonna like Grievous this guy? Because, you know, because we're able to hit a higher threshold because of, you know, the health and then the health percentages that we get from Vader lead. I don't know. This is gonna be an interesting thing to see how we mod Maul. All of a sudden, like, I'm not convinced that we're gonna just put speed on him and just call it good, right? Like, I think that there's actually gonna be more to this than I think meets the eye. Like I said, I don't know if it's an offense set. I haven't done that math yet. So again, I don't know. I'm not sure how that's all gonna work out. But overall, I found that very, very interesting. And so yeah. Other than that, like I said, he's a galactic legend, guys. Like, he's gonna be good, I promise you. He sounds like he's going to take over the meta. Right now it's JMK and Cat, and I think in about a month or so time frame, whenever people start unlocking Maul and have a Lord Vader with ultimate, I think it's gonna be his show. So with that, let's go into the content update, because there were some important things that happened there too. Okay, so this is again talking about Lord Vader. So I read this, guys, and I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't know what this Geonosian Galactic Chase is. I don't know if it's just supposed to be a help for new players. I don't know if it's supposed to be a, like, when I read it at first, I was like, man, is this sort of some sort of like key in that there is an event coming? And then again, you know, maybe drawing out some conclusions that aren't there at all. But, you know, I haven't seen anyone actually play the Lord Vader event, but I heard that Admiral Trench is in there. I know that that's a guy that people have wanted for a while. A lot of times they have you unlock things with either the faction that they kind of go against or the faction that they belong to. I don't think there was a huge, you know, connection between Trench and Geonosians other than they're separatists. But at the same time, like, I don't know, like, this just feels really weird to me. I'm not sure what this is for, and it's almost a week long. So yeah, I don't know, it should be interesting to see what that leads to. Royal Guard got kind of an update slash, I wouldn't even call it a rework. He just got he got a Zeta. I will say this though, his Zeta is really good. His Zeta is really, really good if you have Lord Vader, or if you're gonna get Lord Vader at this point in time, right? Basically what it does is it takes 5% of the leaders, so long as he's Empire. I think that's the only one. I don't think it's even Sith. I think it's just Empire. So long as he's the, you know, so long as the leader's in Empire, he's gonna take 5% of the max health of that unit, and then he's gonna basically like double his own. So it was really, really good. And we've kind of like did some real rough math again. If you're using a Vader and you're kind of, you know, pushing his health to the limit, you should have like a 300k health. Again, if we did our math right, like a 300k health Royal Guard, which is just insane. So I kind of, I think it's really good. It's a good Zeta, especially since it does seem like he is sort of the tank to go with Lord Vader. So that's kind of cool. That was kind of cool that was added in there. All right, so here's where things are going to get a little bit sadder and a little bit more contentious, I think. So, but to be fair to CG and everyone, right, all parties involved, they told us that they were going to look at this. They told us that they were looking at changing this and stuff like that. It just, this week, I think, is just, we're probably a bit sensitive. All right. Look, if we're being honest with ourselves, this week is not the week for this to happen. But Okay, so long story short, guys, JMK got a huge buff. Like, there's no other way around this. JMK is got a huge buff. They are gonna make you pay legitimately for using for seeing a JMK and Cat on offense or on defense, whether that's in Squad Arena, TW, or GAC, right? So I'll read these ones out because it is actually important. So, and we'll kind of talk about the connections here. So while Jedi Master Kenobi has the high ground, he dispels stealth from all enemies at the start of his turn. Okay, so there was a lot of cheese teams. I know Gridden posted one. There was just a lot of cheese teams where you could kind of stealth everybody except for your GL, make Cat waste her and her one shot, one kill kind of thing at the beginning, and then you would at least stand a fair fight, right? So this kind of answers that, right? Like, and I don't know if this was I didn't think that this was actually going to get fixed. Like, this wasn't really one thing that they really talked about. It was more about like the necessity that JMK just has to kill a taunter, right? Like, and kill it repeatedly in the sense of Night Sister Zombie. So interesting nonetheless. Ultimate. All right, so in the ultimate, at the start of the battle, there was a light side unaligned force user ally that is also Galactic Republic, aka if there is Cat. All Jedis ignore protection when attacking a Sith enemy, and Sith enemies can't counterattack for the rest of the battle. Now, this one is just absolutely insane. I did this one. So there was a few C's on my climb up, and then I also tried a few variations of the C against JMK. And I'm telling you guys, like hitting underneath protection is an actual cheat, right? Like, there are people APK for that. It felt like I was cheating. Like, I mean, like I killed C, I think within 2 or 3 turns. When I activated ult, like, it was over so quick. I could not believe it. So this is like a huge nerf / buff to the JMK versus C. And honestly, you didn't really need it against C. This is just more, I think, for the AI, right? This is for the AI to beat the player. So crazy nonetheless. JMK's Kenobi AI, or JMK's AI basically has been updated to better interact with his ability to ignore taunt effects. So again, this is the one that they told us that they were going to look at, right? I think this is targeting was kind of what they said that they were going to look at. So can't really blame this one from happening. In addition to this, I made some adjustments to all Galactic Legends AI to improve their interactions against certain matchups. And I'm going to tell you right now, the AI, at least from what I could see in my couple battles, is they basically have hard coded in that they're going to target armor, right? A lot of the comps where you undersize a Galactic Legend with another Galactic Legend, it is with armor in that slot, and then you're basically just giving your GL like a free pass essentially into countering this other GL. I would be interested to see kind of where it is in the lineup. I've heard that Thrawn is still the #1 target, which is kind of funny to me because his fracture was kind of nerfed against it. But I've heard basically that armor is like very, very high. They're ignoring taunts and stuff like that to get to armor. And so from what I've been told, and again, I didn't have any success, but you need a really, really, really fast armor in order to continue to do the C fight against JMK. Now, I've been told also that like the SLKR one is harder, but it's not as hard. It has somewhat of a better success rate. So interested to see your guys' perspective on that. I can only just speak to the one day of climbing that I did in arena, but this was definitely one of those ones where I know a lot of people are going to feel this, and I know that they did mention that they were going to look at it, so I can't really blame them for doing something about it. But it felt like this was over and beyond what they said they were going to do. But again, it's their game. They balance it as they see. And oh, by the way, I've been saying this for a while. we are in a single meta time frame again, right? Like we were in this weird spot where like we had Malevolence and we had Negotiator, and even like if you relicked up enough your rebel fleet, like they were still pretty good. So you had this kind of like, rock paper scissors, as we always called it, and then the GLs kind of rock paper scissors each other. Like at this point, like I can't say that we're in that anymore. And I think we have been in this spot for a while now, where I think we're just in a single meta game again, for better or for worse. So Omega was introduced into farming. I know everyone is probably super stoked about that. No sarcasm. And there was a ton of fixes actually. I'm not going to go over any of these actually, because I didn't find any of them super big, but what I will say is this is the big one. This one is still out there. Basically the shared bonuses from Commander Ahsoka Tano's unique ability that adds, the defense, the crit damage, the offense, and all that good stuff. It can stay for some weird reason. In some cases it stays, not all the time, but in some cases it still stays. They know that they put it down. They've actually like addressed it at this point, but we've known it for a while. I know my buddy Zareth like actually lost a fight due to it continuing on. But it's interesting that that's the known issue now, and it'll be interesting to see, hey, what effect does that have, maybe potentially once that's fixed. So that was all the news, guys. It was a lot of news. I'm sorry if this video went a little bit longer, but again, hopefully I provided some insight and some interesting thoughts on this stuff, or if at least it was entertaining, because that's what I'm here for. Like I said, I love doing this stuff. If you guys like the video, make sure you guys do like it. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, it definitely helps us out if you do so. And let me know what you guys think, man. I really do like to hear thoughts, so that way I can at least gauge a overall kind of sentiment towards something, right? Like, hey, like the people seem to generally like this, or they seem to generally don't like this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and we'll see you guys in the next one.